of entry-level white-collar jobs disappearing and 10 to 20% unemployment in the next 1 to 5 years.
AI is not coming for entry-level workers anymore. It is coming for mid-career workers with families and mortgages. Think about a normal morning at work. You have been at your job for 10 or 15 years. You know the systems, the clients, the shortcuts. One morning, your boss calls a meeting. They talk about efficiency, new tools, and staying competitive. 2 months later, you get the email. Your role is being restructured. Your tasks will be handled by a mix of software, AI, and a smaller team. Right now, a huge quiet shift is running through the U.S. job market. Companies are cutting thousands of roles, and for the first time, AI is written into the reason. In a single recent month, American firms announced more than 150,000 job cuts, the worst level in over 20 years, and reports tied tens of thousands of those layoffs directly to artificial intelligence and automation. Across this year, more than 1 million jobs have been cut, many in tech, retail, warehousing, and corporate offices, as employers swap people for tools that never sleep. At the same time, big studies from banks and research groups say something even more unsettling. They estimate that AI could automate roughly a quarter of work tasks in advanced economies and affect the work of hundreds of millions of people around the globe in the coming years. One summary puts it this way: about 30% of current U.S. jobs could be automated by 2030, and around 60% will have a large share of tasks changed by AI. The jobs most exposed are not only factory roles. They are office jobs that deal in words, numbers, and decisions, the exact kind of work many mid-career Americans do. So if you are in your 30s, 40s, or early 50s, raising kids, paying off a house, and trying to stay stable, here is the hard truth. The shift is aimed straight at your desk. Ask yourself this: how much of your day is spent on email, reports, spreadsheets, calls, or routine decisions? If an AI tool could do half of that faster and cheaper, what would your company do with that fact? Would they give you more creative work, or would they decide they no longer need as many people at your level? Researchers are already seeing the pattern. Studies from groups like the OECD and others say that white-collar roles, which used to feel safe, now carry some of the highest AI exposure, especially jobs that require formal education and handle complex information. In many firms, management is quietly testing AI on tasks done by analysts, coordinators, marketers, support staff, and even managers. Some workers stay. Many see their team shrink. Some discover that one tool replaced 3 people. Have you already seen your company bring in new AI tools in the last year? Write yes or not yet in the comments, and if you can, share your industry. Here is the twist. Overall employment numbers in the US do not show a total collapse. Unemployment is still in the mid-single digits, around 4 to 5%, and sectors like healthcare, food services, and social assistance keep adding jobs. Global bodies even say there is little sign yet that AI has crushed total employment. That is why many people think this whole AI threat is overblown. The problem is not that no one has work. The problem is that the type of work is shifting under mid-career workers while they are busy juggling real life. Imagine a 45-year-old project manager. They have a mortgage, 2 kids, and parents who are starting to need help. For years, their value was their experience, their memory of past projects, and their ability to write plans and updates. Now the company rolls out an AI system that drafts reports, tracks deadlines, and even suggests risk plans. Upper management starts asking a quiet question. Do we still need 3 project managers, or can we get by with 1 senior person and a smart tool? What would you do in their place? Look for a new project role in another firm. Try to move into a different field. Go back to school at 45. None of those options feels easy when you also have kids to feed next week. On the other side, companies see numbers that tempt them. One big consulting group estimates that combining AI with other tech could add several $1 trillion in productivity over time. Another famous report says around 300 million full-time jobs worldwide could be exposed to automation as AI spreads. To executives, that sounds like leaner teams, higher output, and lower cost. To a mid-career worker, It sounds like a slow squeeze on the life they built. Have you already seen your team do more, work with fewer people over the last few years? Put smaller team in the comments if that has become normal where you are. So what exactly is changing in the job market? First, we are seeing wave after wave of white-collar layoffs. Tech companies alone cut close to 100,000 roles in 2024 and even more in 2025. Logistics, retail, and media firms have also trimmed staff while pouring money into AI systems and software. In recent months, companies in many sectors have rolled out some of the largest job cuts in over 20 years, and reports show AI and automation called out directly as a key reason for tens of thousands of those losses. The message is simple. Tasks that can be turned into code are under direct threat. Second, hiring is slowing down for many mid-level roles. Companies still post jobs, but they often look for either very junior workers they can pay less, or very senior workers who can guide strategy and oversee machines. The solid middle, the person with 10 to 20 years of experience who mostly executes, is getting squeezed from both sides. Third, new kinds of roles are popping up around AI, but they are not easy to jump into overnight. Jobs like AI product lead, model trainer, prompt specialist, AI auditor, and workflow designer expect a mix of tech comfort, domain knowledge, and strong communication skills. They often go first to people who already sit close to power in a company, not to the average burned-out employee in the back office. Does your current role feel more secure, less secure, or about the same compared to 3 years ago? Type more, less, or same. Your answer matters more than any headline. So what happens next if you are in that mid-career band and you can feel this shift, but you do not want to panic? First, understand that doing nothing is a choice, and it is the riskiest one. The people who get hit hardest by job shocks are often the ones who never looked up until the review meeting where their role vanished. You do not need to become a coder. You do need to know, in plain language, how AI is touching your field. Start by breaking your work into tasks. Which parts of your day are routine, repeatable, and based on information? Those are the parts most likely to be automated. Which parts involve trust, judgment, conflict, and human contact? Those are harder to replace. If your job is almost all routine, you have your warning. If there is a real mix, your goal is to lean into the human-heavy side. In the comments, write one part of your job that you think AI could do and one part that clearly needs a person. Naming it out loud is the first step to adjusting. Next, get your hands on the tools, even if your company is slow. Use public AI chatbots to help draft emails, reports, or plans in your own time. Try summarizing documents, outlining projects, or checking patterns in data. Not because you want to replace yourself, but because you want to understand what the tools are good at and where they fail. The workers who stay valuable in this next phase will be the ones who can guide AI, not ignore it. Finally, think in terms of options, not a single path. Maybe you stay in your role, but shift into a part of the company that is adopting AI in a smarter way. Maybe you move sideways into training, client work, or change management, places where human contact still matters. Maybe you start a small freelance or side project now, so you have a second leg under you if your main job takes a hit later. Here is the part few people say out loud. AI is not going to destroy all jobs. It is going to split workers into 3 rough groups. People who get replaced, people who have their work reshaped, and people who learn to use these tools to increase their own value. The gap between those groups will feel huge in 10 years. If this helped you see the job market shift in a clearer way, hit like. Share this with someone in their 30s, 40s, or 50s who keeps saying, "I hope my job is safe," but has not really looked at what is coming. And subscribe if you want straight talk about AI, money, and the hard choices normal people face in this new economy. This channel is for people who are tired of hearing that technology will fix everything while they watch it rewrite their paycheck. If you refuse to be blind to what is happening, you are in the right place.